Looking around, he realized that anyone among the pirates who had displayed supernatural abilities had been killed one by Zhang Yi from high in the air. Bai Li Changqing couldn't help but swallow. The holy silver bullets fired by Zhang Yi, who uses Thunderstrike, are so deadly that even he does not dare to take them on lightly and needs to avoid them carefully. So he really can take out other mutants with just one shot. Who says that mutants cannot be dealt with using conventional weapons? As long as the bullets are fired using the abilities of other mutants, it will be difficult for the mutants to deal with them. Zhang Yi's Tengu squad arrived in Tianhai City. The first stop was naturally his home base. More than 100 pirates were wiped out by the Tengu squad in less than a minute. Bai Li Changqing captured a spy, and Meng Xiu went up to him and gave him a truth serum injection. Soon, the spy told Zhang Yi and the others everything they knew about the Sky Dragon pirates. They are heading towards Chaoyu Harbor. Our captain is Kanuda, the captain of the 4th team of the Sky Dragon pirates. The one they captured alive was a nobody, and the information he revealed was useful but not very much. When Zhang Yi asked him about the strength of the 4th team, he just said, "Very strong, with few opponents in the southern waters." This statement was true for him. But to Zhang Yi, it was like bullshit. These fish in the southern waters have never met any real masters. Zhang Yi looked at Bai Li Changqing and said, "Bai Li, what do you think?" Bai Li Changqing thought for a while and said, "According to the intelligence we have obtained, the team that has arrived is the 4th squad, and its captain is Kanuda. According to the rating given by the intelligence system, he is a Delta-level mutant with a supernatural ability index of 8,000 points. In addition, among his subordinates, there are 4 members with strengths between 4,000 and 6,000 points. However, he pointed his finger at a corpse in the crowd. One officer has already been killed by you with one shot." Zhang Yi pondered after hearing this. The intelligence provided by the large region was correct. Among the 3 enemy teams that came, the enemy strength of Tianhai City was the weakest. There was no choice. After all, according to the calculations of the headquarters, Zhang Yi's strength was weaker than Tu Yunlai and Gao Changkong. In addition, Zhang Yi's familiarity with Tianhai City allowed him to first deal with the enemies here, and then go to Linhai City to join forces with the Reincarnation Squad to deal with the Eclipse Moon. Then let's go directly to Chaoyu Harbor. This battle must be resolved quickly, and Linhai City is the main battlefield. Zhang Yi said. While he was talking, he turned on the satellite phone and spoke with Chen Jingguan. Although Chen Jingguan had already gone underground, there were many surveillance devices set up around the Chaoyu base. They could obtain intelligence about the Sky Dragon pirates. He told Zhang Yi. About 70% of the pirates were out scavenging for supplies and 30% are guarding the harbor area. They seem to know you're coming and are relying on our old fortifications to create an ambush. After learning about the opponent's arrangements, it would be easier for Zhang Yi and the others to strike. Zhang Yi pondered after listening to Chen Jingguang's report. The ones who stayed behind are definitely the elite of the pirate group. As long as they are taken care of, the crisis in Tianhai City will be resolved quickly. Zhang Yi took out the snowmobile from his dimensional space and everyone was preparing to head over to Chaoyu Harbor. Just then, the doors to the shelter suddenly opened. Uncle Yu and Fatty Su ran over. Zhang Yi. They were very happy to see Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi glanced at them and said flatly, "The battle is not over yet. All of you stay inside the shelter and don't come out." But Uncle Yu said, "Let us go and help you. An extra pair of hands is always good." Fatty Su also plucked up the courage to come over. "Boss, it's been a long time since we fought together. Take me with you. At least on the battlefield, I can play a role in controlling the situation." At this time, snow was falling from the sky. In such an environment, having a mutant with ice powers was indeed more suitable for battle. However, Zhang Yi still shook his head. "Stay in the shelter and stand by. If there is a need, I will call on both of you to join the operation." Uncle Yu and Fatty Su's eyes were a little lost. Zhang Yi explained, according to current judgments, the strength of the enemy army is within manageable limits. We are enough to deal with them. But just to be safe, you, and the people from the 3 major bases, should not intervene for the time being. In case of special circumstances, you will be needed to provide support from the outside. Even though the strength of the enemy was the weakest in the 3 areas, Zhang Yi dared not be negligent. He had to make proper arrangements. Of course, this was also done with the intention of protecting Uncle Yu and the others. Uncle Yu and Fatty Su nodded, and then looked at the other soldiers of the Tengu squad. They understood that what Zhang Yi said was correct. This was an important time of war, and they could not afford to mess around. The 2 nodded. If there is a need, just tell us. We will rush over right away. Zhang Yi nodded and was about to leave, but then thought about it, and took out a box of holy silver bullets from his body and handed it to Uncle Yu. This kind of thing uses relatively rare materials, and Zhang Yi only has 3,000 rounds in his possession at the moment. Therefore, he only gave Uncle Yu 20 rounds. In addition, he gave Uncle Yu a big, dark object. It was a good thing he looted from the Blizzard City Armory. The latest anti-material sniper rifle, the GPW-2. Its power is twice as strong as the previous generation of Barrett-style weapons, and it was originally an airborne weapon, not suitable for individual use. But it is just right for Uncle Yu. Zhang Yi considered that although Uncle Yu's ability type is relatively simple, as a veteran for many years, he has excellent combat skills. Therefore, giving him a heavy sniper rifle with holy silver bullets will allow him to exert his strength. This is called not having enough strength, so you make up for it with equipment. Uncle Yu's eyes lit up. He excitedly took the weapon Zhang Yi gave him, which meant that Zhang Yi had agreed to let him fight in critical moments, and it wasn't empty talk. Zhang Yi then entered the snowmobile and led the members of the Tengu squad towards Chaoyu Harbor. Judging from the intelligence provided by the region, their Tengu squad will have no problem eliminating the Sky Dragon Pirates' 4th squad. Li Changqing has already unrolled a 3-dimensional map inside the compartment and begun laying out the battle plan. Captain, you're good at long-range sniping. So you'll head to vantage point first, which is here. Qi Guangming, you and the captain will be responsible for long-range fire suppression. The harbor is a cone-shaped terrain, so we will attack from both sides. The coastline has been blocked by the ships from the East Sea region, so we don't need to worry about them escaping. By the time we're done, the pirate leader Kanuta will be dealt with by Liang Yu and me. The rest of you will be responsible for clearing out the rest of the soldiers. Li Changqing's battle plan was flawless. They were outnumbered, but they had an absolute advantage in terms of combat power. At the high-level mutant stage, they were in an absolute advantage. As for the majority of the ordinary pirates in the pirate group, they were nothing more than easy targets in their eyes, just fish bellies who would randomly fire their cheap assault rifles. After Li Changqing finished speaking, he looked at Zhang Yi and asked for his opinion. Zhang Yi nodded. No problem, just execute it. Remember, safety first. Never underestimate your opponent. The group said in unison, understood. Zhang Yi and the others arrived near Chaoyu Harbor in less than an hour. They then got out of the car and chose to advance on foot to avoid being ambushed by the other party. In terms of defense, the battle suits they were wearing were much higher than an armored vehicle. Therefore, the role of the battle suit was just for mobility. The group advanced in 3-person teams. It was snowing, but the view was not obscured. Now the heavy snow covered almost all the buildings. The outer perimeter of Chaoyu Base was a large flat snowfield. And it was difficult to find a suitable cover on the snowfield. If they got closer than 3 kilometers, they would be easily discovered by the other side. However, if they can close the distance quickly, they will still be the side with the absolute advantage. Although the pirates are holding fast to Chaoyu Base, they do not know the terrain. On the contrary, before Zhang Yi set off, he had already given everyone a complete topographical map of Chaoyu Base to look at. Zhang Yi quickly made a decision. Keep moving. Shui Miao, you create a storm to block their view. Now that everyone is playing their cards openly, there's no need to hide. Shui Miao said, "Yes, Captain." His ability is wind, which is easy to use in this blizzard. As long as he creates a storm, he can form a natural shelter to block their view. Shui Miao summoned a huge storm and created a snowstorm in one corner of the Chaoyu base. Then, taking cover in the storm, the members of the Tengu squad charged straight for Chaoyu base's harbor. The commotion quickly attracted the attention of the pirates. Kanuta sat on a war cart piled high with snow, revealing a mouthful of shark-like teeth. Is it the regular army from the Jiangnan region? Men! Attack! He roared, and the surrounding pirates also wildly raised their firearms and roared wildly. These outlaws would not be daunted no matter who they faced. They were people who placed their own lives at risk. On the snowy field, gunfire had already sounded intensively, the muzzles aimed in the direction Zhang Yi and the others were heading. However, these ordinary bullets could not cause any damage to the combat suits. Not to mention their poor marksmanship, they couldn't shoot through the blizzard and hit the group. Li Changqing charged at the front, growling, "Forget the fish, kill the mutants first. Settle this quickly." Everyone loaded their bullets, using standard weapons and origin bullets, of course. Crack! Bang bang bang! From the harbor base, the pirates were standing on top of metal boxes, laughing wildly as they fired in the direction of Zhang Yi and the others. Instead of attacking, Zhang Yi's group of mutants were lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to close in for a fight. But just as Zhang Yi and the others advanced to a distance of about 1,000 meters from the harbor defense line, a very abrupt obstacle appeared. Li Changqing charged forward, and his entire body was suddenly sent flying back, before tumbling to the ground and then expertly stabilizing his body. The others were also caught off guard and crashed into that position. What is this thing? There's a wall in front of us, a transparent wall. There was a transparent wall blocking their path, invisible to them. Zhang Yi's pupils constricted as the opponent's mutant made his move. He raised the white eagle in his hand and shouted, "Get out of the way!" The team members all made a path for themselves, and Zhang Yi fired a shot at the invisible wall. However, the holy silver bullet, which could break magic, stopped in front of the wall and then fell straight to the ground. Even holy silver bullets are useless? What kind of power is this?